Hey, I'm Craig from the Surfboard Guide, and today we're going to check out the Dead Hippie by Spooked Kooks. So the Dead Hippie is a softboard. So as you can see, kind of a mini Mal mid-length thing, and it is 7 foot by 22 by 2 7/8, and it's 53 litres. So yeah, the Dead Hippie, it's a mini Mal mid-length, whatever you want to call it. It is a fun board, and it's true in every essence of the word. The Dead Hippie also comes in 8 foot, another length, which I think comes in at just over 60 litres, where this is 53 litres. So yeah, I've had the Dead Hippie for a while, got it off the guys at Spooked Kooks just before summer. It's something I've been riding across summer when the waves have kind of been 1 to 3 foot, a little bit junky. I've also got a little boy who's almost 5, and it's been epic for him to push him into waves. So I'm a huge fan of softboards. They've come so far now, you know, you can actually kind of properly surf them. You've seen some of the footage, there's some kind of goofball surfing, I'm just having fun in some average waves. And there's also some turns and some bottom turns and some waves in the footage that, you know, I'm pretty happy with. I feel like I'm doing some good surfing, and that just shows as testament to how far softboards, if you want to call them that, have come. So looking over the Dead Hippie, nothing too crazy. It's a pretty cool outline. Kind of like your small mini Mal mid-length thing, like I said. Pretty straight outline, pretty full wide nose, holds a lot of volume. The tail kind of comes in, tightens into like a little bit of a fairly rounded square, nothing too crazy. But what I like about the Spooked Kooks, the Dead Hippie, they've put a lot of effort into. So I think it's an EPS core. It has stringers that go through the board for strength. There's a bamboo kind of veneer shell that's under this like soft exterior and the slick. I won't go too much into the tech stuff. You can find it all at spookedkooks.com, a little bit more detail of the board. But what I do like is a lot of softboards, they've kind of thrown them together. You know, they're all fun and whatever, but they just put these thick kind of rails that aren't, you know, aimed to be super surfable. But I don't know if you can see, they've actually put a fair bit of effort into that rail to give it more of a surfboard rail. So, you know, for most surfboards, I'd call this kind of like a mid to full rail. It actually rolls off the deck. And you do notice that when you're surfing through the water, it doesn't feel like this big chunky, you know, softboard that doesn't want to be surfed. Also something I think was really cool, they put a bit of effort into. Boards have a thing called like an effective edge. So generally from a board, the edge will be sharp. It'll be like a, you know, a sharp kind of edge that'll pull into a rolled rail, you know, a bit in front of the fins. They've actually put the effort to kind of, this is like a soft foam, but they've put the effort to make sure that just in line with the fins, it actually has a sharpened, you know, a square edge, and you can feel that in the water. It actually holds through turns. It has nice hold, and then also like a nice released kind of rail that surfs through the water really, really well. Like I said, it's something I've been riding across summer, you know, whole variety of conditions. It's absolutely epic, 53 litres, it's 20 something litres more than my shortboard. So heaps of foam. I'm even tandeming on it. I'm 92 kilos, my son's about 21 kilos. He gets on the nose and he paddles and I get on the back. You know, we catch waves together, he stands up, I lie down. You know, friends that are much bigger have been riding it and been having like a hell time. Like you're catching, you know, every wave that pretty much comes your way. There's a whole lot of foam. But because of the stringers in the board and also the bamboo veneer, which wraps the EPS core before you got this soft foam exterior, the board stays fairly stiff and fairly firm. So a lot of softboards have got a lot of, some ones that probably aren't so good, have quite a bit of flex in them. So you get on waves, you feel like you can almost surf them quite well. Because of that flex, you lose a lot of drive. But because this, the Spooked Kooks boards, they're a little bit heavier because of the interior to keep them stiff. But what that does is it keeps them with a lot of drive. And, you know, while they're good and they're soft for someone who's learning or beginning, they're also quite firm and quite drivey for someone who can surf. So, you know, you might grab something like this for your whole family and you can surf it in shitty little waves, but you might want to get out when the wave's actually half decent, and this can surf half decent wave. Dead Hippie, and I think for the majority of the Spooked Kooks range, is they have actual Futures fins boxes. A lot of these softboards are made offshore, and a lot of the manufacturers are putting in kind of, not legitimate boxes, and people are having trouble when they're putting fins in the boards. They don't fit because they've just copied the actual manufacturer's box, and sometimes they do or don't work. These are actual boxes that have come from Huntington Beach in California and made by Futures, and they give you this set of nice soft fins that come with the board. So they're really soft, they're really safe. And actually this is all I wrote in the board, they were completely fine. But if you want to put something a little bit more performance in, Futures do like a plastic kind of fin that is a little bit firmer. And then you can also put in your glass fins. If you want to go full performance, this is your board, you want to surf in decent waves, you can put in your AM2s, your John Johns, whatever you want, you can put them in the board. What I really like about Spooked Kooks, the guys are from Bondi Beach in Australia, absolute bunch of legends, but they're really keen in making sustainable product. Obviously surfboards using foam and the manufacturing processes and resins and that are not good for our environment. Look, no one's going to stop surfing. They want to keep riding boards, but we want to minimize our impact on the environment. So what they've partnered with Sea Trees, sustainablesurf.org, and it also contains social plastic, so plasticbank.com. You can look up on their website, there's links to all this. And what they've done from manufacturing these boards, if they've kept plastic out of landfill, the plastic is actually in the boards, they've recycled the plastic, and they've also planted trees in return for making the boards and what they've done to the environment. Look, it's not going to be perfect. Surfboards are not good to the environment. And it's pretty funny because surfers are generally a bunch of people who, want to minimize their impact on the world, minimize their impact on the environment, but we ride these things that are probably the worst thing ever for the environment. But it's good that people are conscious to that and trying to make a difference. Look, overall, the Dead Hippie is absolutely epic. I'm a shortboard guy, but I'm getting older, I've got kids, I want something that's fun. And I'm frothing on softboards. We've got a whole bunch we're going to check out in the coming weeks and months. And this thing's been epic. They have a whole range from like a fish through to the Dead Hippie in an 8-footer. They're all epic. And what I like is they're a nice softboard that you could probably surf in the flags. They're also safe for people who are learning to surf, but they're also a little bit heavier and they're quite firm where they don't flex and they have nice drive. So if you're a surfer or someone who can surf well, this isn't going to limit your performance. You're actually going to do some half decent surfing on it and really enjoy it. Look, overall, I love the Dead Hippie. I love the stuff the guys at Spooked Kooks are doing, and hopefully you get a chance to check one out. Thanks so much for watching.